Welcome to Deadlands Dime Novels, The Adventures of Young and Holt, Issue 15, Annabelle Revealed. I'm your narrator, Ernest Wick, intrepid reporter for the Tombstone Epitaph. In this issue, Young and Holt find out exactly what Annabelle is, or perhaps more accurately, what she isn't. And it doesn't go very well for one of our posse. So, as we do, let's see where they're at.
In like a cinematic way, you can kind of see people running and there's smoke and stuff, and then it looks like maybe there's a fire starting in that building. And then in the glow of that, you see this shape kind of come walking, and it looks like it's looking at you. And so you kind of glance, it catches your eye, and you take a glance after you have your exchange with Horace, and you see this form walking at you, and you realize that's the dress we just bought for her. And it's Annabelle. And as she's approaching you can see she's unwrapping her headscarf. And she gets it off, and she kind of has it in one hand, and you can see, just in the light, you can see she's no hair, but she's got like fragments of skin flaps just kind of hanging down, and there's almost, you'd swear, maybe it's the flicker of the light, you're not sure, but there's like things moving on the top of her head. And you can look at her, and it looks like she's mouthing something at you, and you can almost swear that you hear her say,
"You didn't eat my sandwich."
And she's coming towards you. You get a 7, Porter. Joshua, you get a 3, but I get a 2. Porter, you get to go first.
Okay, so at this point, Porter's freaking out. Even more! Boy, I didn't think that was going to happen.
Oh, make it a bigger roll while you're at it. No. All right, what did you get?
I got a 2.
You got a 2? Okay, so you didn't crit fail?
No.
You remember all of the Kickapoo stuff that you drank?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That actually has tremendous laxative effects. And even though you cleared out a lot of your guts by throwing up, you're beginning to feel the laxative stuff starting to take effect. And that pressure...
So you're saying I might need new pants?
You may need new pants. It's building. It hasn't overcome your ability to hold it back yet. But you know it is only a matter of time.
Oh, boy.
Like perhaps, should you fail a vigor check one more time, it might just happen. Doesn't mean it's going to stop you from running away if that's what you want to do. I'm just saying that's bound to happen.
Okay.
I'm glad you changed into your suit.
But it is your action.
Okay. At this point, my survival instincts are kicking in.
As well as other things.
Yes. Yeah. So my free hand's going to immediately touch my cards.
Okay.
And sort of riffle them in hand.
Right.
And I'm going to use Mist Me, Deflection. As I am... I'm also going to yell to Horace, run, 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 run! And I'm going to go for the back. I'm going to... There's a back door to the livery.
Absolutely.
I'm running for the back door of the livery.
Okay.
Away from her. All right, so that's 5, 6, 7. 7. Can I have 3 pair?
Can you have 3 pair?
2 jacks, 2 4s, 2 6s. Yep, I guess it's just 2 pair, which is 4 power points, which is more than enough to cast it.
Okay.
And I'm going to just sort of sprint through livery and head for the back door.
You'll sprint through the livery?
Yes.
All right.
Because she's coming from down here, right?
Yeah, she's coming up the street towards the livery, so you run in.
That's why I'm going to go the other way.
And now it's Joshua's turn.
Joshua stepped out from the alleyway between the saloon and the dry goods.
You're the clothes and the construction here, so you're out here now. Make me a quick visual-based notes check. 4. Up at the intersection of the street, you can see a few people. Looks like they've kind of got some sort of perimeter wedge kind of thing. They're trying. It's not working very well because you can hear them like shouting. But then you see, and you can see their muzzle flashes. But then you see another muzzle flash, which looks just a little bit different than the rest. And the face kind of turns briefly in your direction, looks at you, and you realize it's HB. You can see his little nicely groomed mustache and everything, and he kind of looks at you. Hey, stranger! Quite the evening, eh? And then he kind of goes back, and he pulls up his gun, and not the gun where the odd muzzle flash came from, but a different gun, and he tries to take aim as he's helping his injuries. But now you may go ahead and take your action.
I'm going to purposely stride down the middle of the street.
Okay.
Pushing past their little barricade that they've got set up.
All right.
As I'm reloading pistols and kind of taking in and enjoying the chaos that's just going on all up and down the street. But my eye, after that, it's like, yes, it is. Quite a nice night. And then I'm going to be focused on the livery, since that's where I sent Porter, to see if I can see him.
Okay.
And if I can't see him, I'm going to keep purposely walking that way.
Towards the livery?
Towards the livery.
All right. So you're moving away from HB.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. As you are making your way and you give your hat tip to HB and make your way, you're turning and you're loading, you see, just at that moment, that's when you see Porter run into the livery. And you can also see someone further down the street who also looks like they're walking purposely as well towards the livery. At that time, you then see that person, you see her kind of go like this, and then you see like this cloth sort of unwind from her arm. She snaps her arm, and the cloth just kind of like jumps out towards the livery doors, and it goes far longer than any piece of cloth should, with far too much momentum. And then far too much force as it smacks into the side of the doorway of the livery and just shatters a bunch of pieces of wood, and then it just seems to snap back into her hand. And she doesn't seem to notice you at this particular time.
She's wearing a dress. I just realized how silly that is.
Yes.
She's obviously not wearing the bonnet, though.
Both of you make me a hearing-based check.
Tonight is not a good night.
It's not a good night for the dice.
9.
All right. Porter, you hear this huge snapping and like busting of wood as you're running in, and you can even feel a couple of splinters on the back of your head. But you don't hear anything. You hear a shout saying, it sounds, unholy would be about the best way you could describe it. And it just says, "It belonged to me." 9 of clubs for Porter, ace of diamonds for Joshua, and 7 of hearts for me. Joshua, you are first.
So as this figure with the super long cloth is heading towards the livery, are there any other threats immediately that would be preventing me from running into the livery?
There is one more Marshallite in between you and the livery. And it looks like, as you've been purposely walking and reloading, you saw him kind of coming up from the side, and he's making his way.
Just 2 shots.
Just 2 shots. There we go.
That's kind of disappointing end to it.
17 on the first shot.
That is a hit with a raise.
And total miss on the second shot.
All right. So you do get an additional D6.
14 plus 3, 17.
17. Nope, it is not shaken. It's a bonus to recover from being shaken. So it is not shaken, but it does continue to come at you. And now, Porter, it is your turn actually next.
So how far did I make it through the limit?
You're about halfway in.
How much dynamite did we buy?
How much what?
Dynamite did we buy? How many sticks? We buy a lot of sticks?
We bought them out. There's 10 sticks, I believe.
At this point, I am running to the horse.
All right, you can easily get to the horse.
And I'm going to fish out the guns being shoved in the holster. And I would probably fish out, it'd be just one because I need the other hand free.
Okay.
So I would pull out 1 stick.
All right, so you pull out a stick of dynamite. Perfect. The Marshallite gets up to you, Joshua, and kind of comes charging at you, his hands outstretched, and just kind of stumbles a little bit and actually ends up kind of landing in like a 3-point pose as he trips over a divot in the rock or in the street. While that's happening, the other creature, person, individual, whatever you want to call them, that was coming up, has of course moved closer. You recognize the dress that was purchased for Annabelle. You also see her. You get a much closer look at her head. You may make a guts roll. And don't forget to add your grit, but then you also have a -1 penalty because of the fear level.
So seasoned would be 3?
Season would be
2. And then true grit.
True grit gives you 1 more for that.
All right, so this is +3 -1 is +2. Oof. 7 + 2 is 9.
9. All right. Despite the gruesome appearance of her face and her head, you do not lose your lunch. You do see there are things moving on her head, but she also sees you. She kind of looks at you as you got the Marshallite a few feet away from you, who's struggling to get back up, and she makes eye contact with you, and she raises her other hand and she says, "He's mine."
Man, we could all went to Fargo together.
Not much of a conversation.
And then at the end of her 5 of clubs. Oh, crap. Ace of clubs for you. And I get a whopping 2 of diamonds. So she monologues.
Slide on.
And but Joshua, you get to go first.
Well, I can't be abiding this Marshallite that's trying to gnaw me. Alright, 2 more shots. She finishes the hiss. I'm next and be like, just second.
Perfect. Be right with you.
That would be headshots. Sorry.
Oh, these are called shots.
So,
Okay, that's cool.
-4, -6.
All right.
So it's a 10. -4.
Yep.
It's a 6.
Which is a hit.
Second shot. It is.
Miss. All right. +4 that damage.
$11 and 7, 19.
It's 11 and 7 is 18.
18.
How would you like to kill this particular Marshallite?
Well, even though the second shot missed, I'm going to say it only missed because there wasn't any head fragments left to hit. So it's just going to be... and then I'll look back at her. I'm going to treat it like showdown. So I'm putting my guns away as I'm approaching her.
Porter, you've got your stick of dynamite.
I do. God, I feel bad because Horace is fighting 2 zombies. Doing this.
Maybe. Or it's going to be eating or being eaten.
Yeah, that's fine. Unfortunately, I have other things on my mind. I'm going to grab the dynamite. I'm going to I'm going to run back up to the front door.
Okay.
But I'm going to keep against the wall so I can't be seen through the door. Kind of peek out and see how far away she
I'm
is.
sure there's lots of cracks in the building.
Yeah.
All right. Make another bigger check.
4.
4. Is that with your -1?
That's with the -1.
All right. You're still holding it in bay.
Yeah.
All right. And you're able to run to get to a point where you can look.
It's hoping you move faster.
Yeah. It's real waddling.
And you peek out and you see Joshua standing in the street squaring off with Annabelle. This is not how I thought your first duel would go.
Well, I didn't figure you'd run it as a duel.
Right, no. So she stops and she sees you. She just kind of looks at you and she says, "Not yet." And then she kind of whips her towel head wrap on the ground. It hits the ground, and around you, you feel the earth just kind of go boom like that. Okay, so Annabelle got a success with a raise. So make me a vigor roll at -2.
Oh, that's not going to help.
Let me get my D4 out here.
All right. That explodes. That explodes again. So what is that? That's 11?
Yep.
All right, -2 is 9. You succeed. So it attempts to kind of basically knock you on your ass, but you were able to keep, and you kind of feel this concussive force kind of ripple through your body, but you're able to kind of ride it out, and you are not shaken. And then
I've ridden horses that bucked harder than that, ma'am.
she kind of gives you a sneer, and you see the things on her skull just kind of start to writhe in an excited fashion at that. Porter, 5 of spades, 7 of spades, and a 5 of diamonds. Go blast again. You saw this happen, like you even heard the ground just kind of go, and you see this thing of cloud of dust kind of come up around Joshua, but he doesn't fall to the ground. And Joshua, it is your turn.
So I can see him?
You can see him through the cracks in the thing. You can also see, he can't see this because his attention's focused on her. There are 2 more martial lights coming up behind him, though. But Joshua, it is your turn. They won't get him this round, but they will get him next round.
So she just did that.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's still looking towards the livery.
Well, she's got her attention on you, but she does like a little sidelong glance toward the livery, yeah.
Well, she's wanting to go in there. I can't be letting her go in there. So, I'm going to pull and fire both weapons.
All right.
Pow pow. And I am aiming for left arm, right arm.
All right, first shot.
-2. This adds a d6.
Adds a d6, and I don't get to draw.
Or reroll.
Or a reroll. You can do it as a straight up reroll, like a wipe.
Could I roll the second one before I decide?
I'll be nice.
4.
Ooh. 11, and that is a hit with a raise.
I am adding a d6 to this one.
Okay.
Oh. Not enough. Can I earn a white chip on that to reroll all 3?
You could spend a white to reroll all 3.
So 10.
Okay.
-2 would be an 8.
8, which is a hit, also with a hit with a
So
raise.
hit with a raise, hit with a raise.
Correct.
And it's going to be left arm, right arm.
Left arm, right arm.
So left arm.
It is her left arm that has the head wrap in it. This is actually made cold shot to those arms.
Cold shot to the limb. Be 11 points. Right arm. Plus my 3 would be 14.
14.
So 11 and 14.
11 and 14.
Left arm, right arm.
All right.
Just roll 10 with the d10.
Well, it was wrapped around her arm,
Yes.
so I didn't figure it was going to...
So her arm snaps back, but she hangs onto it, and then the other one kind of hits her in this arm and kind of turns her a little bit more. It is her turn.
You can figure out if she's shaken, wounded, or whatever.
Right.
Oh, she beats me?
Oh, I'm sorry. Nope. You go ahead. Right now, she is shaken.
I was going to spend a turn to aim, and now I'm wondering if I
You hit Annabelle, and it kind of spun her, and
should. And now she's...
you're peering through like a gap in the wood, and the two of you make eye contact, and she sees you there. She knows it's you.
I think this is the best time to light the dynamite and chuck it at her.
All right.
Fortunately, I do not have thrown weapons.
Okay, so untrained skill, that's fine.
Dice be nice to me.
You got a couple of ones there. You can roll.
You've got a lot of...
Yeah.
Well, this one's for me. I roll these stupid twos all night.
You should spend a white to reroll, and then the red one to add a d6.
That's... Yes. Well, I figured the red one to add the d6, I can use the white if in case I don't want to reroll that d6. So first I'll use the red one to reroll. Add.
Or to add?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're just giving you all kinds of chips.
You have given me lots of...
4's good.
Oh, are you sitting on blue ones over there?
I am sitting on blue ones.
And then we
all went.
White to reroll. Come on, be nice.
3s and 4s.
That's enough.
At least a 3 and a 4 will go together to make a...
It's minus...
It's -3 because it's untrained skill. So it's
-3?
-3 total. 1 for fatigue, 2 for the skill.
Then I got a 4.
Okay.
That's exactly what I needed.
4. So you threw it, you got it where you wanted to. All right. Obviously, dynamite's a burst template. What's the damage in for that?
It's only 2d6 per stick. I feel like it's just 2d6.
Oh, they shouldn't throw 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just 2d6
All right.
per stick.
Too bad you can't spend something to reroll damage.
That's true. That you can't do.
Boom goes the dynamite.
I was expecting some dramatic explosion. Instead, I get this 4 damage that...
4, that's it.
4
That's all I got.
damage!
4.
So it throws and it bounces, but she's just on the edge of it, and so it kind of actually helps to spin her back around to face you. And let's see if she is... I'm going to spend a reroll to unshake her, because I want to do something with her this round. There we go. Now she's definitely unshaken. All right. See, you got me to get rid of the chips. That wasn't a total loss.
I don't know, it took me 2 chips.
Oh, too bad we can do a wound.
All right. The unfortunate part is she was going to do this on you, but she made eye contact with you, and you just threw dynamite at her.
I did!
But to your benefit, you've got the wood in between you, so you've got a little bit of armor.
I still have my deflection on, too.
And oh, that's right, you still have your deflection.
Yeah, this is where I crap my pants, you're right. When she appears out of the smoke from the dynamite and still standing.
Bring me my brown pants.
Yeah, so the flames and the smoke clears, and you see her, she's still standing there, and she's facing directly with Joshua, but then she turns to you, and she just goes like this, and her whole thing unravels, and it snakes unnaturally right where you are, and smacks into the wood. And I'm -2 to hit you?
-2 from the deflection, yes.
-2 from the deflection?
Plus whatever you're giving me for cover.
That'll end up adding to your toughness.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to spend the red and this. Got that so far. I hit the
Broadside of the barn.
I hit the broadside of the barn, which is exactly what I did.
That's a lot of dice.
A lot of dice.
That's a lot of... Oh my god.
Well, she did just explode a barn door. So.
Yeah, well, the wall, not the door, the wall.
The first time was the door, this time's the wall.
Yeah.
All right. The wood here I'll give you a +4 to your toughness.
That's still not going to be enough.
Okay. So what is your toughness?
A total of 9, then.
Total of 9. All right. So you've got shaken and 3 wounds coming at you, and it just obliterates this door.
Can I soak?
So yeah. So now you got to definitely do a soak roll. Bigger roll to soak. Yes. You want to get at least a 4.
Not even close.
Ooh. All right. So you were potentially shaken, and you have just taken 3 wounds. So here's what you see, Joshua. You see her lash out, and it just hits the side of the barn, and it just boom, wood flies everywhere, and you can kind of hear this yelp. And you're not unconscious.
Not yet.
What does that smell?
But you were knocked back. Maybe a bigger roll.
Well, this will be the bigger roll I made.
Now he took how many wounds? So that's penalties.
He took 3 wounds. So this is my fatigue. Yep, so this is okay. Yeah, so you hear this really unsettling noise. And your adventure, your card's not going to help you with that, is it? Or do you know what to do?
Well, it will. I will probably play it after this,
Okay,
but it's not going to save me from this, no.
gotcha. King of Diamonds, 10 of Clubs, and 9 of Hearts. I'm last again.
So I've taken... How many points? Oh, I'm at -3.
And you're shaken, so make me that spirit roll at a -4 to see if you can become unshaken. No. All right. So you basically this round you can move half your pace, and that's about it. But you'll be able to take actions again next round.
Okay.
And so you probably, for dramatic effect, you probably have landed on your back. You've got pieces of wood stuck in you, and you're in this pile of hay.
Yeah.
And
The horses are all freaking out and kicking.
Yes, and the horses are starting to get really agitated now. And
So where I was standing, I was probably in the middle of the livery rather than in a stall.
You're by the
to
wall.
see out of the wall, you would have had to go into a stall.
Oh, okay.
But whatever horse is in there now has probably ran
Yeah.
away, and it's not one of yours.
All right, so at this point, I am going to start crawling into the hay deeper,
Okay.
into hiding, and play that.
Ooh. Here comes the cavalry. I thought you guys never help arrives on the scene from some source determined by the GM. Nice. That is great. Okay. Joshua.
I'm going to make a stealth roll, too.
Oh, you can't. Not yet.
Okay.
Because you're still shaking.
Oh, that's right.
Well, after seeing that, her taking, 2 shots and not flinching too.
In the dynamite stick.
This is the part where I start moving diagonal away from the livery to the opposite side of the street.
Okay.
To try to get behind her from the livery. And as I'm doing that, it's like I'm just gonna fan the hammer and finish off that gun.
All right.
So that's gonna be 4 rounds.
Perfect.
Each at -4.
That's 7.
It's a 7.
Second shot. Nope. All right, so you put up this hail of lead as you're angling across the street, and while you're doing that, she kind of like is turning towards you as these bullets are flying. She watches you as you go, and you see her arms start to coil up. And where you're about to step, she can lashes out and hits the ground there. And I just got it, so all you have to do is make a regular vigor roll.
Any penalties on this?
There's no penalties on this.
Okay, so 4.
4. All right. The ground shakes again, and you kind of stumble a little bit, but you are able to keep your footing.
It's the blacksmith that's on fire.
Yeah, part of it is starting to burn as you see this massive armed dude. He's got a crowbar, and he has been beating off a couple of these Marshalites as they approach. But you catch out of the corner of your eye, Joshua, you see that wedge of people that was there. Mm-hmm. They are coming down the street towards you. And you hear HB say, "They need any help in there." Jack of diamonds, 4 spades, king of clubs. Annabelle is there, and she's looking at you, and she looks and she sees the other people coming. So Annabelle's there, and you almost angled yourself to the corner of the non-burning portion of the blacksmith area. And we've got HB and a couple of gents coming down the road there. And you see her, she kind of hisses again, and she takes a few steps back and starts to whip her cloth from her head wrap above her. And you're watching it, and as she's whipping it, it seems to get bigger and bigger and bigger until it finally just completely obscures. You can't even see her because it's all just this whipping circle sphere of cloth.
Dust and debris and everything
Dust
else.
and debris, and it's kicking up all kinds of stuff in there as well. And that is her action. Jack of Diamonds goes first.
Okay. I'm going to attempt to not be shaken.
All right. Oh, no, you'll be unshaken, and you just spend the round shaken, so you're good.
Okay. Now I'm going to stealth. -3, -4.
Yes, sir. Oh, hey,
what was that
did you
earlier?
get something? All right.
That's a 5.
You can absolutely. Where are you trying to stealth to?
In the hay.
You are hidden nice and snug in the hay. You hear some of them say, "What the hell is that? What's going on there?" HB says, "Probably just a dust devil of sorts or something. It's a little windy around here. Go and check on them. I'll help out. I'll help out the gunslinger." So they kind of go off, and HB angles more towards you. Ow. And it's your turn.
Oh. Well, I think the latter of your phraseology there, sir, would be correct. And I'm reloading my pistol. Because he said dust devil, so.
Agreed.
And what the hell? It fits for both of them, really.
Yeah. There's a satchel of dynamite in the livery I was trying to get to, but I don't know if we can make it through this storm of sorts to get there.
We should be able to angle around it, I'm thinking.
Well, I'll cover you and we can both make a run for it.
Like the sound of that. And he kind of flashes some cards and kind of puts them back in his pocket. All right, let's go.
Cards? Now's not the time for a game, sir.
I do it when I'm nervous. That's, of course, assuming I'm nervous. 6 of diamonds, 3 hearts. She gets that. And he gets that. He dashes across the street, kind of angling around towards the livery. He's like sprinting, keeping a gun aimed at the swirling dust and cloth. But does not. But because he's running, he can't take a shot.
Right.
And he gets across the street and just inside the livery.
Okay.
And then that brings us to me. The thing continues to swirl, and just kind of swirls, but nothing comes out of it.
Is there a side door to the blacksmith here where I could get in?
Yes.
Okay.
And 6 of diamonds can go next.
And since I'm hidden everyone, I'm just going to write down stuff and pass it to you.
All right. All right, Joshua.
All right. Seeing that he made it to the livery,
He did.
I'm going to duck in to the blacksmith,
Okay.
and I'm going to try to find a box of nails.
You see, as you're ducking in there, this thick-armed black man. He's there. As you kind of run in, you see him. It looks like he's picking up a martialite at that particular time, and he just slams him into the side of the kiln. And he takes his crowbar and he just bashes him right in the head, and then kind of drops him. And he looks up at you, and he's just got fear and rage in his eyes, and he's like covered in blood and stuff. And he looks at you.
Got a box of nails for sale, sir.
Who the hell are you? What's going on?
No time for introductions. Got a storm outside. We need to quell.
I got a fire. Nails are over there. He
Okay.
kind of goes running off to take care of that problem. You were able to find some nails.
Okay.
Porter, Queen of Diamonds, King of Spades for you. Joshua, 8 of Spades for me, 3 of Spades for HB. Joshua, you were first.
All right. Tuck the box of nails under one arm, and I will pull due diligence, head into the storm.
You head right into it. You walk in there, and you're getting kind of just bombarded by dust and fragments, and feeling like there's like cloth slapping you and wrapping around your legs, and it's really hard to see in here. Very hard to see. But go ahead and make a notice check while you're in there. This is sight-based.
It's going to be a 5. Apply whatever penalties you need to that.
You cannot see anything. You just kind of push your way in there.
Yeah, I'm trying to center as close as I can approximate. Just push my way towards the direction where I think she would be the center of the storm.
Porter.
Well, at this point, I'm going to recast deflection rather than keep spending the power points.
Okay.
I'm going to use the cards instead. Unfortunately, I got just low enough that I don't get any special bonuses, but I have to spend the Joker either way. Otherwise, I'm going to fail. So,
The Joker.
I did get a Joker, and I'm going to get a...
What does that do, though, right? Because that there's a risk when you get a Joker, isn't there?
Yeah. So I got a straight. If he fails to generate enough or uses the Joker in his final hand, the Manitoba wins the Battle of Wills. After the hex takes effect, you roll on the backfire table.
I've got it right here. Roll that d20.
19. Oh, man.
This ain't your night, man.
No, it's not.
It's not your night. Corruption. The hex is twisted to have the worst possible result for the hex slinger. Damage-causing spells affect him or his allies. Protection affects his foes. Information gathering incarnations lie, and so on.
Oh, you were
right.
casting what?
That's deflection. Don't hit me. That's
Nice.
that'll be for 3 rounds. Yeah.
Okay, here's what ends up happening. You cast it, and you feel like you've won. Then you get this vision in your mind, this hideous face that suddenly just sprouts this evil, evil grin, and you see these white teeth against this black and red skin tone that's covered in scales. You just hear this voice in your mind saying, and you feel these hands just kind of grip you, and they yank you out of the hay, and so you're being pulled. You've still got your shotgun,
Yes.
and you realize there's a lot of hay stuck to your pants, not because it's stuck in your pants, but because your pants are wet and soaked with something. And you're being pulled by your chest, and your toes are dragging across the floor of the livery, and this force is pulling you not out the front door, but towards the back door of the livery, and you're being dragged along.
Lovely.
That's the first round of that. As you were getting pulled towards the back of the livery, you thought you might have caught something, because your eyes were just kind of transfixed on what's happening to you, but you thought you might have caught a vision of somebody behind you, and you could hear somebody say, "What in God's name?" And then you can feel somebody grabbing on the back of your jacket, but it's not working. Ace of Hearts, Queen of Clubs, Jack of Hearts, and only a 2 of Clubs. He loses grip on your jacket. All right, so and as you're being pulled towards the back door of the livery, a person in a dress steps into the entryway there, and you can see this cloth just kind of come dripping, and you're being pulled, and you, with her free hand, she reaches up onto her head, and she just pulls out this piece of material. It's just this gooey, it's black in the moonlight, in the dim moonlight, and you can see it kind of dripping. And she just kind of holds it right about to where your mouth level is as you're being pulled directly towards it. But you can do something because you're on the Ace of Hearts. So
guess what? I'm going to level a shotgun at her.
Go for it.
Come on, dice. And it's going to be both shots.
Okay.
Because I need every chance I can get. Oh boy, that's a 1.
All right.
And a 1 and a
My
2.
dice don't like me tonight.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they both go. I probably don't even get the shotgun around. It just sort of goes off.
Yeah, it's off in the ground next to you.
Yeah.
So that happens, and you have a queen, I believe, there? Or is that a 6? That's a Queen of Clubs?
It's a queen.
Queen of Clubs.
Your storm's still going on?
Yep, the storm's still going on. You're not sure exactly where it's at, where if you're in the center or not. You're still in it. Stuff's still kind of hitting you.
I'll just yell at the top of my lungs. Annabelle, stop this now.
All right, you yell that. You don't get a response. So Jack, and you yell that. You go, "Annabelle, stop this now!" And then, almost as if on cue, storm and everything dies down. The dust comes down. The cloth seems to just disappear, and all the dust comes down, and you can see a couple more Marshalites coming in your direction. They're probably about 2 rounds away from you, but everything just kind of settles. She is not there, and you've lost sight of HB. You're not sure where he is. For you,
He is.
so you're kind of getting dragged forward. She starts stepping forward, and she reaches out with her hand, and the two of you kind of meet, and she just tries to shove this piece of whatever this is in your mouth. You make a fight roll here first to see if she has a chance to get it in your mouth.
I guarantee she does.
What's your parry?
2.
2. Oh, she absolutely. So she gets it in your mouth, and she's trying to force it down your throat. Now make me a vigor roll, as your body's natural stuff is going to try and resist it. No. All right.
Too many negatives.
I can't.
She gets it down there, and she just kind of, it's almost like her hand almost kind of thins up as she's like shoving this piece of meat thing matter down your throat, and you're... All right. This isn't traumatizing at all.
No.
You hear somebody shout behind you, but you can't hear it over your own gagging. But you hear somebody yell something. See what looks like a number of playing cards just kind of go into your field of vision and hit her in the wrist. But she still kind of keeps forcing this down your throat, and she hisses a little bit, and then she looks away over your shoulder as you're struggling with her. Here we go. You can you hear somebody yell, "Put him down!"
Okay.
Coming from inside the livery.
Since the whole front end of the livery is shattered.
Yes, 10 of hearts, 10 of diamonds, King of hearts for Annabelle. But HB gets the Joker.
Good thing you had a cavalry card.
Yeah. You hear, "You devil, I said put him down."
She's trying.
And that's going to be with a raise. Okay.
I like it. 2 d6s explode.
Yeah. So again, you see like this kind of this flash, and then a number of playing cards cut right through her wrist, separating her forearm in two, and kind of rears back, and so you're left hanging with the front half of an arm hanging out of your mouth. As the other one kind of goes back, and she just kind of stumbles back and just it hisses and then looks past you.
I can almost see that arm still trying to stop, still moving.
It is kind of like shaking a little bit, but she looks at it. I'm assuming that you're probably on your action. You're going to head towards into the livery.
Yeah.
You're still kind of like hanging there, and she starts to swirl this again, and kind of creates again another kind of like whirling sea of cloth and dust and hay just kind of comes up, and then you can make me a notice roll.
On the arm. 1.
All right. Yeah, you can't see what happens at that point.
10 of hearts or 10 of diamonds?
10 of diamonds, I believe. Diamonds beats hearts in this game.
All right. Yeah, I will run as fast as I can to get into the livery.
Okay.
So, how far can I get in?
You can get, from where you're at, you probably can get right into the doorway.
Okay.
You can make me a site-based notice check as well. 5. You, just at that point, you see HB kind of standing there, and he's kind of like taking a few cards and folding them back into a deck and putting them, and he's running over, gun out in the other hand, he's running over to Porter, and then you thought, you can kind of see the swirl of hay, and then you thought you might have seen a shape kind of disappear through it and past it. You see Porter kind of on his tippy toes, impossibly kind of hanging there.
Okay.
And all you can see is his back of stuff, and he's got hay stuck to him and all that. But he's not standing on his feet like he is.
Yeah. Okay.
He's not a ballet dancer. There's no way he could be standing that way. And Porter, it is your turn.
Can I move my arms?
Absolutely.
I'm grabbing at the arm.
All right. Maybe another vigor roll.
No.
No? All right. But you are able to pull the arm out, and you just kind of just yank it out, and the fingers, they kind of fight their way out, but you pull that out. A piece of whatever she had is not attached to that arm. But you have the arm out, and you kind of slowly sort of feel you come back down to be able to stand on your feet once again. At the end of that round.
I don't think I'll be standing. I would probably collapse at that point.
Collapse at that point. All right, so you drop. At this point, everything begins to kind of calm down. The swirling stops. Annabelle's nowhere to be seen at this point. HB kind of runs up to you. Oh, you're right there, my friend.
No, I'm not all right. Not the slightest.
I didn't see where she went. Did you see where she went?
No, what happened in here?
And you see a couple people come in the library, and he looks at you. We best really discuss it. She shoved something in his mouth. I cut her arm off, but she left.
Hold him.
What?
Hold him.
A couple of men in the back say, "Everything okay in here?"
Give us a second.
I'm like sitting there with my back to him at this point.
All right, so HB just kind of...
I'm going to try to basically make him gag.
Okay.
Finger down the throat, which won't be more traumatic at all.
No, yeah.
So go ahead and make me a straight up vigor roll. Just no penalties.
Oh, no penalties.
No penalties.
Oh, I was going to say.
He is forcing you to gag.
No.
No?
I don't resist. Are you kidding?
Well, I mean, what did you get, though?
A 3.
A 3? Okay. Yeah, so you shove it down, you shove your finger down his throat, and all of a sudden, and then you just heave this purplish, blue, black, gray thing just kind of comes out with everything else that's in his guts. He smells horrible.
Oh, yeah, well.
And it just kind of plops right there in the pool of bile that's right around it.
I'm surprised there's anything else in my stomach at this point.
What is that?
Is it moving?
It is not moving.
Thanks for holding him.
Thanks for puking him?
Help me get him up against the edge of the wall. So we'll move him into one of the stalls and kind of prop him up. And do we have leftovers in town we need to deal with?
I don't. How's everything going out there? I think we've got them all. I think we put them all down or driven them off. All right, go check to see your survivors and check on Sylvia.
Round up all the town and meet in the saloon.
Yeah, got it. HB is kind of helping the position. I hate to say this, my friend, but I think you might have soiled yourself.
What he was fighting, and don't surprise me none.
I am not saying anything, and I'm not really thinking anything at this point.
All right. He kind of pats you on the shoulder. I'm going to go check. I'll be right back.
Appreciate your help, friend.
Of course.
So,
it would be rude of me to not extend a warranty for my paying customers. He kind of nods as he leaves.
I'm going to poke my head out the back of the livery.
Okay.
Just to make sure he's not coming back.
You do not see. In fact, the only thing you see in this very dim, because it is still dark, you see a couple of what you assume are martial lights staggering off away from the town.
Okay.
I'm just sort of leaning against the wall, head back.
Yep.
Just eyes closed.
I hope you weren't enjoying this issue on your lunch break. Looks like Porter did survive, but just barely. And what remains of the rest of the town? Find out in the next issue, Annabelle Aftermath. The part of Joshua Young is played by Brent Rich. Porter Holt is played by Brad Smith. And your intrepid marshal is played by Chris Hussey. Deadlands and Savage Worlds are property of Pinnacle Entertainment Group. Learn more about their great games at their website, peginc.com. And of course, thanks always to our friends at Fear the Boot. Support their Patreon at patreon.com/feartheboot. Intro music provided by Zitron Sound. Contact information for your marshal and information about other music in this issue can be found in the notes on our website, ap.feartheboot.com. If you enjoy these issues, please consider dispensing a lovely 5-star review on wherever you do listen from. It's kindly appreciated. I'm Ernest Wick for the Tombstone Epitaph. And remember, some people are luckier at cards than horses because they can't shuffle the horses.